really deep, we really don't even think about wins and losses. With this year's team, we just go in and win and play. Hope, and it's a good thing that we do come out with that win. But I think this year's team, we're so deep that any player that is not performing, we're able to put in a new player and just complete that so-called dominance. And we are kind of dominating a lot of teams. We've only lost eight sets thus far. And we played probably the best competition in the state so far.
Well, actually after the show, you're actually heading up to Farmington, and that's a 3-hour bus ride, and maybe 4-hour with food and everything like that. So, how do you keep them focused?
I think the big thing is it's just the girls hate losing. And so they don't even think about anything else but just getting the job done on the court. Like I said, we've had a couple of injuries, we've had some sicknesses, and the other girls just step up, and they know that. We've talked about it, and each girl is like, you know what, we're not going to lose. We don't want to lose. We want another state championship. So they're doing everything they can to get that goal at the end of next Saturday night.
Well, the fans are in the stands. And I'm telling you, I haven't gone to a volleyball, I'll be honest, but I've watched it on ProView and watched, our cameras. They're out. I mean, and it doesn't seem. It seems like we do a lot of Academy, and we do a lot of Hope, and we do Rio Rancho, and we do Los Lunas, and I'm telling you, you look in the stands. I'm sure it's the same way with La Cueva. The people are coming out to support volleyball.
After COVID, it was kind of a little quiet last year. The fans were hit and miss with some games, but this year they've come back out. I think everyone's excited again about volleyball, and we've had some really good turnout on our big games against El Dorado, against Sandia. Our Centennial game was packed. So the fans are coming out, students are coming out, and it's an exciting time for volleyball.
I tell you, it seemed like it started. I had Coach Maznaris from Rio Rancho on last week, and I remember it started like 10, 15 years. He kind of set the standard of volleyball. Now La Cueva seems to have that kind of dynasty going for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's get into the fever because next week it all comes to a head.
Yeah, next week state tournament, we'll find out the seedings and the bracket on Sunday afternoon, and everyone starts playing on Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon, and we're all striving for that blue trophy at the end of Saturday night.
And you can watch ProView bracketology basically on Sunday. We're going to start at 3:00, and we'll have Sebastian Noel and Aaron and some other people, talking about the deal. So I know that that's been a big thing. People are watching those parties and having parties on that Sunday.
Yep, we're excited to see what the seeds are, come out, what the bracket looks like. And, we're having a watch party as well at 3:00. Girls get together and we do a team bonding and stuff like that. So they're excited. They're already talking about it. That'll be probably a big conversation on the road trip today.
So, let's get back to this road trip. How do you, you went out this week, you win your district, and which is huge. I'd like you to kind of talk, why is it so important to win your district?
It gives you momentum going into the state tournament, and also gives you, just to get a feel and getting that. We kind of break everything down into 3 seasons. We do like kind of a regular season. We culminate that with the Metro Championship, and then right after Metro, usually you start into your district, and then we do our district season. And then I tell the girls that's all over. It's a whole new season when you start state, because it's a whole different atmosphere, different. Teams are out to beat each other, and anybody can beat each other on every night. But winning district is great momentum going into the state tournament. So you want to pick up those wins and just kind of show the rest of your district that you are a team to compete with.
Well, and it's very important to get that number in the top 4 seeds. Right. Not necessarily number 1. It's always nice to have that, but that's also a target. But if you can get the top 4, you don't have to play you have a help me out there.
Yeah. The top 4 get the buys, and then the other 8s have to play that first round to play the bye team. So that it's important to win that district. And right now we're kind of sitting as the number 1 team. We're undefeated, so we definitely will probably get we'll get a top 4 seed, even if something were to happen this week. We should get a top 4 and have that Thursday afternoon game at 4:45.
I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the top 10 plays, Dream Style top 10 plays of the week, come back and talk more with Cueva volleyball.
Cheshire will set Chrismore one more time. And the block did the job. Blocked by Carpenter. Kept up. Top angle. Macias. No, it's dumped over instead by Kirkland. Cheshire. She'll set Chrismore again. She's blocked again. Carpenter. Cheshire. Chrismore. Another swing. This time she'll dump it over. Cheshire. She'll set in the middle for Carpenter. And she puts it away. That was the longest rally of the set, and it still goes to the Huskies. 24-14. Set point. Huskies.
But it falls right to the feet of St. Pius. Opportunity here. Vaughn. Spinaroonie. Shot. Score! 1941. Leo Vaughn gets a second.
Culpepper. He's got Cordova again, and Brody Whitaker blows that play up so fast from the edge.
Babinski shot up in a goal.
He tries to dummy it through. It's loose. Opportunity. And it worm burns in.
Cheshire will set Chrismore. Yes! The freshman connects again. Coverage. Oh, what a catch! See you later. Turn off the lights. Goodbye, baby. Touchdown.
Pardon me for Lozano. This time, Culpepper. He's got a man. Caught. It's again Tommy Lopez. Lopez breaks a man. And Lopez not stopped at the 3 this time. Tommy Lopez, he's got a huge touchdown.
That snap, Royale picks it up. Great protection, going for a home run ball down the middle of the field. It's underthrown. Oh, what a catch! A catch and run for the touchdown for Trayvon Williams.
Style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style roofing tops them all.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Special guest again is Steve Archibeque, head volleyball coach at La Cueva High School. And well, what the next 2 weeks are going to bring to you? I mean, your schedule's got a full plate right now.
Yeah, exactly. We, on the road today, big rivalry game on Thursday. Brackets come out Sunday, and then we start state on Thursday.
You know, even Farmington's no pushover either. I mean,
Yeah.
just because of the drive and being out of your element. And you know that like I said, you have a target on your back, which you worked hard to get and deserve, but your players have to step up every game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to kind of go in there. You have to make sure that you keep the girls focused. And, when you do travel, it becomes a little difficult because you're on the bus so long, and then you get road legs and kind of try to get things started quickly. And it's usually a little bit of time before things get rolling. But Farmington's a good little squad. They've got a couple good players that are going to give us some fits in the middle. So it'll be a good contest tonight. Hopefully we come out of there with a W and then head into El Dorado on Thursday.
Well, with this tournament coming up, and I know you take one game at a time, or you say you take one game at a time, but I'm still in the back of your mind. You're thinking about, like you just said, you're going to be in the top four no matter what happens. Hopefully you win out and things,
Right.
and control your that, but you're going to be a top four seed, think about what happens next week. I mean, I already know. I mean, you say you're gonna have a get together on Sunday. We discussed that, but then what happens on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
So girls get together. We do some team bonding on Sunday. We watch the seedings. They get excited for that, and then we get back to work on Monday. We'll go tough practice Monday. We do kind of a general skill stuff on Tuesday. We watch some film of potentially who we're going to play on Thursday night, either San Diego or my prediction, San Diego or Los Lunas. They're 8-9, and then potentially look at some Wednesday will be a light practice. We might even watch a little bit of film for some other teams that we possibly could play, and then Thursday we start it all. We get together Thursday afternoon and do our serve and pass, and then head up to the event center, play our first game, and hopefully come home with a W, and then have a Friday, I guess early, about noonish game is that second round, so to speak, and then we'll see what happens after that.
On game day, on next Thursday, how do you all meet early? Kind of walk me through the steps of that day. Do you meet early and do you have lunch together? And do you drive out together?
So what we do is we always have a serve and pass before every game, and so that usually is about 3 hours before game time. And the girls, we just kind of do a warm up. Girls got together and kind of get them focused. We do, some serving, some passing, get my hitters ready, and then we on Thursday we'll do that. We'll have a team lunch on Thursday around noon at one of the parents' house. Then the girls will go over to the school. We'll do our serve and pass, and then we have parents drive our girls up to the event center. I don't allow my girls to drive on that during state just because it's frantic and everything. We just want to make sure they get there safely.
Well, plus the traffic. I mean,
Correct.
Certain times of the day. I mean, especially from downtown, it's a 45-minute drive and it could be an hour drive, just depending if there's an accident or something like that.
Yeah, and so basically you learn from the past. We have parents drive the girls up. We get there, they're a little bit more relaxed, and as opposed to having to drive themselves. And if they do get into traffic and trying to be late and all that kind of stuff, and then we get there usually about an hour ahead of time, absorb what's the scenery. It's a whole different atmosphere when you get to state, a different event. So give the girls an opportunity to just kind of get everything sink in, and then we start our game.
This might be for a coach, a guy that coached in basketball and played basketball. when you're looking at film, so you're watching film. What do you? I mean, John Wooden, his thing is he never looked at it. He only worried about his own team, of course, but he only had the 12 NBA players on his team. So it's pretty easy to, not have to worry about another team. But what do you try to get or try to focus on when your kids are watching film?
So we break down our opponents in two ways. We break down their offense and break down their defense. And then we've seen every team so far, so we have film on everyone, and then plus also looking at our team is what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. We kind of concentrate on where on their offense, what they're running to, what their plays are, what they're doing, and then what defense they're running in any open areas that we need to focus on. So then we bring that back after watching film, and then we kind of run our practices accordingly.
Now, do you also look? I mean, when I was doing basketball, we same thing. We'd have film, probably not as technically as we had film as y'all do today. But what we were looking at is what they did earlier in the year, and then what they tweaked during the year, and try to find things that if you played them, what they're doing different than the time before you played them.
Yeah, we do have some early film, but we kind of mainly concentrate on towards the end, because that's when teams have gotten to pretty much set lineups. Because early on they're using different girls, different athletes in different positions. Towards the end they've kind of had their set lineups. So you kind of want to look at that. Also look at if they've had any injuries or certain players that were not playing in the beginning. But it's important to kind of we're at a luxury, I think, now that we use Huddle. Huddle's we can just do clips, and we don't have to watch the whole film. We can coaches kind of break it down, and we break down in certain clips so that we have basically a concentrated time into certain teams, and not instead of having to watch an hour's worth of film.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about the state tournament and talk about the rest of this week.
All right.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. I got Steve Archibeque, head volleyball coach at La Cueva High School. And Steve, I mean, the beginning of the year, you're top ranked and you're living up to the billing. The players are playing well, but You played a tough district. Talk about your district a little bit.
We had a
rivalries. I mean, I'm talking about
right.
You have natural rivalries with every school.
We have El Dorado, and that's just across the board. Every sport, there's a rivalry with El Dorado and La Cueva. So they get up. We get up to play that. They'll pack the crowd. We'll pack the crowd in there, and it's always a tough game with El Dorado. We had them a couple weeks ago for our Think Pink game, and it was a tough game. They have a really good outside hitter, Reese, who is just, she's a phenomenal girl to stop, and we were able to contain her. They have a couple other good players. But we were fortunate. We just have a lot of offense that we were able to take care of business. Sandia is a tough volleyball rival for us. They've got some really good players. We had them on Saturday afternoon for senior night. And then we have, Farmington and PV. PV used to be a really good volleyball school. They've kind of come down a little bit. They lost some girls. But we have a tough district. I know the northern district with Cibola, Cleveland, that's always billed as a top district, and they have some really good teams. But I think our district is right up there.
But you can't forget about the South. I mean, last year Centennial, 2 years ago, Centennial comes in and and wins the state volleyball tournament, if I'm correct in my thinking there.
Yep.
And but let's talk about the South. It seems like they always have good teams.
You know what? Las Cruces High and Centennial this year are to be reckoned with. They're really, really good teams. Centennial has Tess Fuqua and Bella Castro, the libero, seniors, and they're a really good team. You've got to play your A game to beat them, and fortunately we were able to play really well and take them twice. Las Cruces is right up there. They've got the Massey sisters. One's a senior, one's a freshman, and they're really good players, and they're big. They're probably the biggest team in the state as far as height, and they're going to be up there. I predict Centennial, Cruces, us, Cleveland will be the top four.
Dark horse. I mean, you think about a team that maybe that's getting momentum here in the last 2 weeks that is on your radar that you may or may not want to see.
For us, it's always Cibola. Cibola is a scary team. They're somewhat young. They beat us last year in the Metro Championship. Potentially on any given night, Cibola can just rise to the occasion. I think they're a dark horse, and also Rio Rancho's got some potent players as well. They can come through next week and do some damage to some teams. I think those two teams are probably could.
So what you're saying is, even though you're number one, it could go. It's going to be a great tournament.
You know what?
There's a lot of opportunities for teams. A lot of parity, I guess the word is.
There is a lot. I mean, even though we're the number one seed, volleyball at any given night you can be beaten. You just have to come out and play consistent 3 days of volleyball, and if you do that, you'll win. But I think this field is pretty open. The two Cruces schools are going to come up, and they want to beat the North, and you have some teams up here that can put their runs together. They're going to be potent as well.
I tell you, preparation. I think that's a big key, and I think right now with what you've talked to, where your team is focused, they understand that they. I mean, it's great to be number one, but they got to get it done out on the court. And
Correct.
I think that shows the leadership. Talk about your leadership on your team.
We have 4 seniors, and three of them were with us last year. They saw us go through what we did last year. One was a vital player, Ella Sanders. So this year they have just taken the role of, we want to be back, and we want to hoist that blue, and they're doing everything. They're kind of keeping the team settled. They take control in practice. They kind of say, hey, we got to get this done. We got to do this. They kind of keep the girls grounded. And I think that's the biggest thing right now is keeping our girls grounded. And right now we haven't talked about a loss. We haven't talked about our wins. We don't even know a win streak. So that's good. I think the girls are just focused. They want to win the state championship.
Well, that's a great attitude going in. Every game. Basically, what you're saying, they take one game deal, and they're not looking for next week. They're taking Farmington serious, and come back, and they got our arch rival in El Dorado, and then finish the season and then see where it goes.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's a key that we kind of instilled in the beginning, that it's take one game at a time. And I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but I scheduled some really tough games this year just to kind of get us battle tested towards the beginning of the season, and we came out that unscathed. And the girls didn't even faze them about winning or losing. They just say, hey, we've got Centennial next, or we've got Cruces next. We had a back-to-back with them. And they stayed focused, and they got things done. We went down south, played Cruces on their home court, and we were able to come out with a W in 5 sets. And I think after that game, the girls realized, hey, we just have to keep things focused and grounded, and we'll think good things will come.
Well, I know you don't. Your team hasn't worried about records and streaks and everything, but to motivate them. Okay, if that ever comes up as an issue or anything, let me read this here real quick. And West Mesa, 118 wins consecutively, and then Hope 56 wins consecutively. So there's a lot of work if they want to keep that record going on. So it's a challenge from ProView Networks.
We'll accept that challenge. I think I've got some really good athletes in the program, and as long as we can keep things together, I think we'll accept your challenge and see what we can do.
Well, Coach, hey, thank you, and good luck for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you so much.